What's up guys, it's Drace the Beast. Today we are going to highlight Ed's strongest button, which is his standing heavy punch. If you're an Ed player, or if you just simply want to know how to counter Ed's strongest tool, you definitely need to watch this video. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe, helps the channel a lot, and let's jump on in. Alright, so starting off, why is this button so great? Why is it his best button? It's one of the better buttons in the game. Is because of its unlimited potential. There's so many things you can do with this. It's safe on block. It's only -2, meaning that it cannot be punished. Not that one. Can be punished. It has great range and it's cancelable into kill rush backwards and forward. You can cancel into his snatcher or flicker. I'm sorry. And there's just a lot of potential here. So I wanna break down each amazing part of this button and what makes Ed pretty good. Wouldn't say top tier, definitely not there yet. Hopefully season 2, but this is definitely one of his strongest buttons, or his strongest rather. So let's start off with just the basics. You know, standing heavy punch, it's very good. Startup is 10 frames. It's pretty standard. Like I said, it's safe on block. That means he's not going to be punished for it. And it has great range and it's cancelable. So that's 3,000 damage off of just throwing it out there. So what else? On block, you have a lot of options here. And I want to talk about moving away from standing heavy punch by itself. I want to talk more about what makes it so strong. So let's talk about standing heavy punch canceling into his flicker. And this is what makes it really powerful. So like I said, of course, you can cancel it into any of his 3 flickers, light, medium, and heavy punch. And what makes this good is that heavy punch into light flicker is a true block true block string. Meaning that, of course, your opponent cannot press, they can't do anything except maybe drive reversal. But once you get hit with once you block the standing heavy punch, you're locked in. So just take a look at the drive gauge that it's taking. That's almost a full bar for something that is completely safe. You know, if you land the hit, there's nothing they can do about that. Yes, flicker is -6, I believe, but at the range that you're doing it, there's no way it's getting punished. So keep that in mind. It takes almost a full drive bar from your opponent. So that's a really great start by itself. And there aren't many buttons that can make this light flicker a true block string. So if we do heavy punch into medium flicker, there is a gap there, a slight gap. So this one is a little dangerous because, of course, one of Ed's biggest weaknesses is having to deal with drive impact and jumps. Since he has a lot of recovery on his normals, yes, he has great range, but he has a ton of recovery on his normals. So it's very easy to get jumped in on and very easy to DI, especially when some of his normals aren't cancelable, like his light kick. Can't cancel that. So like I was saying, there is a gap here with the medium flicker, and there it is. Yes, it's so easily punishable by DI. So if your opponent is noticing that you're not keeping it, you know, tight and true with the light flicker, then you're going for this one. They will just mash DI or maybe jump. If they jump, they can definitely get over it. Is that jump? Yes. Well, not exactly, but jump is not that big of a deal here, but drive impact is the biggest. So there's the gap. It's easily punishable. So you want to stick with his light flicker. Of course, after that, you know, DI, you can react to DI back, no big deal. So that's good. So you wanna definitely use this a lot in the match if you're close enough to land this. You want to get that. Even if they're not blocking, there's not much you can do. You're just at an advantage of 1 frame, which is whatever, but it just kind of resets the neutral. You get decent damage, 1600 from just throwing it out there, so that's good. Okay, so what's the next layer to this? So you're just simply poking, you're doing this, that's fine, but there's a lot more you can do here. let's have Luke, let's have him drive impact. So, you know, instead of doing this, let's make him block. Instead of doing, you know, something like this, you can also charge the flicker. And by doing that at a good range, you're able to charge any of the flickers really, but light and medium are his best ones. Light is a little faster, has the shortest range, and medium is a little slower but has the longest range. So anyway, what you want to do here to add the extra layer to this is go for charged flicker. And what you can do is you can react to drive impact, or you can just simply fake them out if you want to just do it preemptively and then punish the drive impact attempt. So free punish, it's very strong. I mean, you get 3,000 damage just off of you know, making a good read, baiting your opponent, and not spinning any meter. So that's good right there. You want to be at a long enough range, mid range, so you can actually dodge the DI and punish it. If you're very close in your face, you're gonna get hit. But the cool thing about this is that even if you get caught swaying out of it at close range and you get hit with DI, you don't get crumpled. You're not in a punish counter state when you're moving backwards, which is actually great. It's a really good point to Ed's pressure there. If he was in a punish counter state from this, that would be really bad because now you're taking more of a risk to try to bait this out. So worst case scenario, if you're mistiming it or you're misspacing it and you do get hit with DI, I mean, that's fine. You're just kind of resetting neutral unless they drive rush in, but you're only taking a little bit of damage because it's not a crumple state. So that's good. So like I said, just another demonstration. If you want to mix it up some more, you can just go for this, see what your opponent does, and react accordingly. Like I said, opponents, if they notice you're doing this, they're gonna DI. It's easy damage. But let's say you just do this, boom. And that's a great added layer once you condition your opponent to take the flickers. You can start charging it and avoid DI. So something else you can do, there are a lot of different options here. Let's say your opponent's, what do I have this set to? Drive rush. Okay, so drive rush jab is always a very good option for Luke and for most characters in this game. So how does this work in interaction with the charge flicker? So we can do this. You can react to the drive impact. You have to be vigilant, but you can react to the drive impact. If you hold it, you see the green, you let it go. So that's also really good. If they're thinking that you're going to, you know, do this, they can catch it. But of course, it's more so about reactionary play with Ed. Once you do this, you see the green, you let it go, boom. And plus you have enough time off of the block stun from the stand-in heavy punch to do a fully charged flicker. So you see he does that. Sometimes it'll trade, but you see right there it's +7. So even if that trades, you can get a free standing heavy punch combo. So that's an added layer to that. If you let it go early, you're still plus. You know, if you just charge a little bit, boom, you're still plus, you still hit him. So a lot of options there. This one is really good. I use this a lot in my Ed matches, being master ranked, all of that. It's very good. If you watch high level Ed players, Momochi, Ending Walker, whatever, they use this a lot. So very good option for that. Now, what else? So we baited the DI. We are stopping the drive rush jab. We can also stop jumps. So I believe I have this set to him. Yeah, best jump button in the game. Why not? So something else you can do with this as well is if you notice your opponent is really jumpy, they just want to jump in on Ed and maul him and get in, you know, whichever way possible. Which, you know, a lot of players at all levels, they'll do this a lot. So another good option here is you can just simply charge this. If you see them jump, just kill rush right underneath them. And this is really good because you have the ability to react to whatever you do. I mean, there's so much time here. You know, the minute you do this and charge, you're looking for 3 different things. You're looking for DI, you're looking for DI, you're looking for drive rush, green. If you see green anything, just let it go. and you're looking for, of course, jump, because on whiff or just the recovery of this is so long. You see the total frames below is 45 frames. This gets jumped on all the time. It's very easy to jump on it. So when your opponent kind of knows that you're flickering a lot in mid-range and neutral, then they'll try to go for jumps pretty often. So like I said, no matter which way you charge, you can see them coming for the jump, and you can just simply go under them. It's really good. And if you guys didn't know, Killer Rush also has some upper body invincibility. I believe in the first few frames, it's either, I don't think it's startup, but it's somewhere like on the 5th frame to the 10th frame or something like that. I'll post up the exact frame data on the screen once I get to editing it. So, but it's very good. It's very good. You have options here. Of course, you don't want to, well, that worked out well, but of course you don't really want to preemptively sway backwards, because it's heavily susceptible to getting stuffed. Yeah, even there at a good range, I'm still getting hit. If you do maybe max range, yeah, you can do that, but you're still -5, as you can see on upon Luke's landing. You're still -5, so it's not like you're punishing like the landing frames or anything like that, even if you successfully read that. So like I said, best thing here, you see a jump, just sway or Killer Rush right underneath, so that's great. So you can even be pretty fancy with it. If you're conditioning your opponent correctly, you're switching up your sways, you're doing cool stuff, you're swaying all over the place, you're flickering, you got everything right. You can do something cool if you're noticing your opponent is jumping a lot too, is that you can also charge heavy flicker. So by doing that, you can charge it, see them jump, do something like that. And of course, this leads to big damage, because you can catch them out of the air, do something like this, boom, boom, Kill Rush in, and get more pressure. So almost 3K damage from having a little bit of a read, but it's not dangerous because like I mentioned, you can always just, even if you're not doing the correct version, like let's say you're just charging light kick flicker, it doesn't matter, because you can still just Kill Rush right under. So the good thing about that too is that they don't know what flicker you're charging. They don't know if it's light, they don't know if it's medium, they don't know if it's heavy. That's what makes Ed so cool, is that it's ambiguous. They don't know what you're planning. So keep it fresh, keep it tight, keep them on their toes, and you'll definitely take advantage of just controlling the flow of the match. It helps a lot. One more thing to note. So like I said, the only true block string is standing fierce into light flicker. Doing this, canceling this into EX or OD is actually not a true block string. So this is another instance where it's very easy to drive impact. And Ed players, I mean, I'm guilty of this myself at times, is that we're rushing down, we're doing cool flicker stuff, and we're getting into the habit of just canceling into flicker whenever we want. So getting standing HP into OD flicker nets you big damage. So a lot of Ed players will just do this, let it go. You get +4 if they block it, +4 frames. It's very good. And if you're able to obviously hit them with that, get something like this, goes into safe jump as well, rinse and repeat, or you can mix it up, dash, dash, throw. So it's really good. So it's really tempting to just go ahead and throw it out there and cancel. You can even do something like this. You want to be really cool with it. It's 3,100 damage, almost full corner carry. So you can see the reward is huge, and you can see how tempting this is. But don't fall into that autopilot where you're just always canceling it into OD flicker, because you will get punished hard if your opponent is even halfway competent. All right, let's talk about his additional layer to his standing heavy punch. I know you guys have been waiting for this. His Psycho Knuckle, which is a staple of Ed. Very fun button to use. So just a couple of things here. just to give you guys a basic understanding. So Psycho Knuckle, you have 3 levels. So one is that you can fake it by just charging it just a little bit, and you can cancel it right into Fierce, or not cancel it, but you just let the button go, and there you go. It gives the illusion of you're charging it, you're planning on going for full Psycho Knuckle, but you let it go early. I'm going to talk about the benefits of that shortly. There's level 2, which is you go for the Psycho Knuckle, which is -2 on block. This is the first charged part of Psycho Knuckle. The earliest that it can be charged and let go is this one. So it's -2. You know, this isn't special cancelable or anything like that. I mean, that would be insanely powerful, but you know, once you're doing this, I mean, you're locked in. You know, that's it. You can't do anything else. So that's the second part, and the third one is the full charge, and that is +4. So that one, of course, is this is extremely slow. I mean, just look at the charge time it requires. I mean, by this point, I mean, your opponent can go make themselves a sandwich and come back and still punish you for doing this. So it's risky, but here's the reason why the startup is so long, because you can feint. There are a lot of different feints you can do here. So one of the feints, like I showed you, is just pretending you're charging and just letting it go. And this is really good. You'll see a lot of high-level ed players do this, especially Endinwalker. He loves charging it like as much as possible, and you know, it's a little tight to get it all the way, you know, right before it's let go. But I think the max, from what I've been able to gather, the max is like 33 frames of startup if you look to the bottom left. So 33 frames, I think it's the max. I haven't even been able to get 34 frames of charge. So I think after 33 frames, you're full steam ahead. So so this is good, right? So you're charging, your opponent is expecting you to just Psycho Knuckle in. And of course, why this is so bad to just, you know, round 1 start, charge Psycho Knuckle, is that it's so easy to counter. Okay, let's see you doing this. Boom. They can easily punish it with DI. This isn't the most ideal, but if you played Ed or you're playing Ed, you know how easy this is to react to. So in order to prevent that, what we want to do here is, which one I want to test first? Let's test Drive Impact. So the easiest thing we want to do here is we want to practice slightly charging. And there are a couple of scenarios where this is useful, right? So, you know, they see us, they're going for a DI. What you can do is, if they're reacting appropriately, is you can stop it. That's not working. You can stop it early and catch them DIing, and you get a full DI punish because you're canceling your charged standing heavy punch. So, of course, slightly charged heavy punch still functions the same. It's still the same frame data. On hit, you're still +5. On block, you're still -2. So that doesn't really change, but it's just more of a feint to get them to bite with DI. If they parry, you know, obviously you're free there. You don't have to worry about much if they parry, or if they, you know, they can always drive rush in, but they're running the risk of getting just knocked right in the head if you let this go and they get hit. Like I said, it has great range, so they can definitely get caught. Another angle of this is that if they see you beginning the charge, of course, a lot of players will just jump right at you, right? So we can replicate that. I think it's this one. Have it on wake up. Let's do block. Which one is this? Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's say let's do after damage. 117, 17. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to delay it. So I'll say boom. You're charging it. They jump. You can just kill rush right underneath. You see that? Very smooth, very simple. You can do it very early too. You don't even have to wait for them to do anything. If you see this, especially if they're just parrying mid-screen, like if they're seeing this instead of risking DI, they'll just hold parry. You know, a lot of players do that. So if you've conditioned them well enough, you can simply just do this. Not that. You can simply kill rush in and just grab him. Punish the hold parry attempt. You know, that's also an option. It's an option if you're conditioning your opponent. I don't recommend just doing this. You're extremely negative. You're going to get checked. But that's also an option. Like I said, if they jump at you, you can, you know, charge, kill a rush right under, and you're safe. Or if they're doing DI, or if they're attempting to try to, you know, throw a button out, you can just let it go early, cancel it into DI, or you can just continue your combo. So that's really good. So now that you've conditioned your opponent that you're feinting, you're faking, you show them that you have the ability to kill a rush underneath their jump-ins, you show them that you can react to their drive impact appropriately, then it's time to move to actually using Psycho Knuckle. And the one obviously you want to use is his shortest charge version, since it's his fastest one. So if your opponent is now respecting you and they're not doing DI or jump or anything like that, they could just be holding parry. So this is a really good way just to get in on your opponent. Now, this one, of course, is -2. It puts you in the corner. Well, it side swaps. I don't think it... okay, in the corner, it doesn't side swap, so that's good. Okay, that was the fully charged one. It is -2, his shortest charge. So, wait a minute. Is that his fully? Wait a second. Wait. +2? Oh, hold on now. Okay, I just learned something new myself. So that's hilarious. I'm literally just learning this. So apparently when you swap sides mid-screen, you're -2 with the shortest charge. But if they're in the corner, it's +2 because you don't swap sides. I never knew that. So that's freaking sweet. I'm adding that to my game. So yeah, what was I saying? So in the corner, this is really good because you're +2. You know, you can frame trap. You can frame trap by doing jab. You can do, you know, crouching light kick. That's awesome. I'm gonna experiment more with that. But of course, that's only in the corner, mid screen. You swap sides, you're -2, so it's not ideal. But if you can, the good thing about this is that if your opponent tries to stop you, like let's say your opponent is bold and they're trying to whiff punish this, if they fail and they're late, they're gonna get hit by this. Especially if you space out in an appropriate range, you're gonna get hit, and it's a full crumple state. So you can do this, 2500 plus Oki. I mean, that's great, right? So this character is all about layers. There's so many layers with him, and this is literally all it's all through his standing heavy punch. And I think that's so cool. It's one of the reasons why I really enjoy playing Ed, is you have access to that. Now, fully charged is a lot harder to pull off. You're not going to be, like I said, round start, 99 seconds. You're just going to let this rip, and they're going to allow you to do that. So once you've conditioned your opponent, you know, you're feinting a lot as well. They're scared of it. You know, they don't want to attempt to whiff punish it. They don't want to DI. You know, they're just going to maybe hold parry. Well, then that's cool, because if you can get this off, it's also very plus, and you can get obviously a full combo off of this too. Now in the corner, does the frame data change? No. So it's +4. It's +4 in a corner, and it's +4 mid screen. But like I said, the halfway charged one is -2. Which is freaking awesome. I just learned. I'm still like amazed like that's the case. Okay, so that's good. So there you go. That's charge flicker, or I'm sorry, charge heavy punch, and the possibilities and the layers there. All right, so that's been a lot so far, right? So we've talked about a lot of things. We've talked about heavy punch on block, the possibilities there, canceling in the flicker, you know, swaying out, all that good stuff. Also, you can also sway just by hitting heavy punch itself, and with flicker, you can sway out of it by hitting backdash or forward dash. But what I do is what's easiest. You can just hit back and a kick button, any kick button, and that's the easiest way to do it. So anyway, let's talk about the possibilities of hit on hit. So this is +5 by itself. And what makes it so cool is that this has such little risk, because even if, let's say, you land this button on your opponent, no counter hit, no punish counter, nothing, you can still combo out of it. So for instance, you can do this. You can do this as well. Or, which is even cooler, you can cancel it into this. Full level 2 combo, corner carry, all that good ed stuff, right? There you go. So it's very good. You know, you can cancel it. It's only +5, so the only option you have is your crouching light kick, unless you're hitting, you know, Meaty or something like that. That's a different story. It increases the frame advantage by a couple of frames or so. But your most consistent and easiest option when you see this land, no counter hit, no nothing, just cancel into this and drive rush in, or kill rush or drive rush, whatever you want to do. So that's cool by itself. Now on counter hits, it's kind of the same. What's the frame advantage here? It's 7 frames, so it's kind of the same. If you're close enough, you can combo into his standing medium punch target combo. We do this, and this is, you know, especially useful in the corner. You know, you're able to convert into good damage into a good setup. So that's very good on counter hit. You have additional options there. We even do this. You know, same thing. So you still have options there. You can maximize your damage. Let me see here. You can do this. Pull him in. You draw rush here. No, but you get the gist of it, right? So there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can probably do that. If you're trying to go for the killing combo and you have like no meter, you can do that. So that's good off of counter hit. Now, punish counter is where the real fun begins. So as you guys know, I play Ken as well, and Ken also has the ability to straight up combo off of his punish counter standing heavy punch. So it's a little similar to that, which I like. So off of this, it is +9. So look at the possibilities. So do this, OD flicker, blah, blah, blah. It's a safe jump. So that's a lot of damage, and it's easily confirmable, and you can do it from like any range. So there, still see you get the combo. So even if you're, you know, playing footsies, you're in neutral, you know, opponent's whiffing a button, you're doing what you do in neutral, and you just happen to land that, confirm into the crouching medium kick, such long range, and you got yourself a full combo into amazing Oki. And of course, this standing heavy punch stands them up. So this one doesn't really, it's very hard to land. It goes right underneath the opponent or above the opponent if they're crouching. You have to be super close to land that. So good thing about this, any range, it works. So that's very good for standing heavy punch. Standing heavy punch on hit, both regular hit, counter hit, and punish counter. You have a lot of possibilities there. So please be sure to experiment with that and see what else you can do. All right, so one last thing I want to talk about is how good standing heavy punch is as a meaty. So if you pay attention to the frame bar down below, the red 4, there's a 4 there. So that means that standing heavy punch has 4 active frames, which is pretty good. It's pretty high. It's a strong number for doing meaties on the opponent's wake up. So I talked about this in my previous ed video. I'll probably link it here. But the possibilities setting up this as a meaty is really good. So for throw loops, his throw loops are really good. As you guys already know, I talked about that in my previous video. So what we want to do here is that off of throw loop, you can slide this right in. So just go for a throw loop. Let's do it correctly. All right, you see the potential there. So it has so many frames. You're able to really trick them. They don't have enough time to react to whether or not you're doing fierce or if you're walking up some more and doing another throw. So the frame data here varies greatly. Of course, it depends on if the opponent is waking up with a button or throw. You don't instantly throw it out, but you dash forward and you wait just a little bit and then you throw it out. So it's really more like a visual cue. It takes practice, but it's very strong. So the possibilities here, like I said, let's say you get, counter hits. You guess the opponent's mashing. You can do this. Good damage. It's a safe jump. Or let's say if the opponent, which is also, this is one of my favorite things about this, is that if the opponent is trying to backdash to get rid of the throw loop and to punish you, or if they're trying to jump forward out of the corner or jump back, whatever they do, what you can do here is still good. You can still combo, like I mentioned earlier. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be counter hit or punish counter. You can straight be a normal hit. So, you see them trying to back jump, going for a throw loop, boom, combo. 1900 for just trying to jump away. And of course, you can get a lot more damage off of this. I hit players with this a lot, and I'm pretty high up in master. So it's a very good mix-up tool to mix up your options. Look at that, 3800. So that's great. You always have the option. If they get hit with this and you're at a good range, you don't even have to be super close. You don't have to be point blank, but if you're like, middle of the range, you should be able to catch them with that crouching light kick. And like I said, you can combo into medium blitz. You can combo into medium DP if you want. Whichever you're happier with, doesn't really matter. But the coolest thing here, of course, is comboing into that corner for that damage off of his level 2. Boom, boom, fancy combo. And like Meaty, all that good stuff. So Ed is incredibly powerful in the corner, in addition to, of course, just finding out that his short charged Psycho Knuckle is +2 in a corner. So take advantage of that as well. If you're pressuring in a corner, just throw this out there. They'll try to jump. Maybe you run the risk of kill rushing into the corner if they decide to jump at a good range. But just if you have your opponent conditioned, this is also a good option, your plus. So keep that in mind. All right, so we went over a lot of options. This is probably going to be a long video, but like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you are an Ed player, if you're trying to become an Ed player, if you're trying to learn him, or if you're just trying to learn how to counter him and all of his shenanigans, this will be a great video to watch. So I appreciate you guys sticking through. Please like, comment, and subscribe below. It helps the channel grow tremendously. I appreciate you guys, and until next time.